All right, so give us your take. Do wealthy men prefer locks, piercings, and tattoos?
So locks, absolutely. I myself am a lock babe, and there is such thing as being locked and presentable. I wear my locks proudly, and I see a lot of people in the comments talking about like the texture, and texture doesn't necessarily matter when it comes to your locks. I think that a lot of men preferably enjoys the micro locks. Is something that I personally have instead of the traditional uh, locks. So um, yeah, just depending on the style that you take and how you keep your locks, a lot of men will approach you. As far as like piercings and tattoos, it's always very much dainty. It's almost very much things
And
that are
LaQuala,
minimalistic. Go ahead.
LaQuala, I don't mean to cut you off, but I'm not saying men won't approach a woman with locks. That would be
Absolutely.
absolutely untrue. But specifically in your experience, and it looks like you're married or engaged.
I am. I'm married.
Say before you were married, were you attracting wealthy men, and is the man you're married to, is he wealthy?
He is
Um,
wealthy, and I did attract a lot of wealthy men. I dated in my own caliber, and I was able to pull a wealthy man. So it's not.
Ah, here we go. Bonquisha up here showboating. Show us this man. All right. Goodness
That
gracious.
that part right there. Listen, she's a wife. Kudos to her. This is always my thing. All right, they still on this locks thing. It's subjective as heck. But when you come up here as a wife, you represent your husband. And I mean, I guess you ain't. How do you answer that question? I think that's like asking, is your husband wealthy? To me, kind of the same as asking, like, when last time you hunched? Like, why do your husband want his business out here in these YouTube streets? I would probably say not. Like, not saying that we could track her, but just a weird question. Is your husband wealthy?
Don't necessarily believe that they're attractive. It's how you carry yourself when you actually are having these type of things, like the piercings and the uh, tattoos and locks.
Okay, and may I ask you where you met your wealthy husband and what he does for a living? I asked another woman the same question, so I don't want you to
Absolutely.
feel. Yes.
Absolutely. So I met my husband when he was young. We were both young, and he currently is in IT. So he works a lot with computers, and he's in the software engineer.
Okay. Alrighty. Thank you, LaQuala. Thank you for coming up and sharing.
Absolutely.
So she real vague about it. He IT, he's software. He work with these things called computers. I don't know if you ever heard of them. They plug into the wall, monitors and such. Uh,
That sounds like me trying to describe my wife's occupation. And I don't know. She talked to foreign people, Salesforce, administration. I don't know. She do stuff with the computer. You got to do like this with your fingers. I'm not buying that she's saying. I'm sorry. It's just I don't know why these sisters come up here. But back to the locks. That was the question. All right. Can these women find respectable, high earning, wealthy men with locks? And the answer is yes, of course you can. But understand, men like femininity. And locks can, depend on how thick they are. If you got wicks, there's levels to this. They can look masculine and they can still be free formed and still be feminine. It's very subjective, a lot of context. Silly question. But here's the thing. Like I said the first time we covered this, just know that the guy you like, he may not like locks. And so it may not be the guy for you, but I don't know.
Hi, welcome. And do you consent to be on a live and potentially all platforms?
Yes, that's fine.
All right, so what's your take? Do wealthy men like locks, piercings, and tattoos?
So my take on it is I want to say no, and the reason why I say no is because so I work at two different country clubs. Okay, so I am every day I'm surrounded by real wealthy men, like whether that's generational wealth or they've established the wealth on their own by having their own businesses, being CEOs, doctors, lawyers of that nature. And when the men come in with their wives or their girlfriends, fiancés, or whoever it is, even if it's someone that they're just seeing or just having dinner with, none of them have locks, piercings, or tattoos visible. Like some of them will come in with dresses and all types of different attire, but I have never seen, I've been working at my country clubs for about 3 years now. I have never seen a visible tattoo. I have never seen a piercing of any kind. Whether that's especially now on your face, eyebrows, nothing. I have never seen a piercing ever. And when it comes to the locks, I've like I said, I've been working at my country clubs for about 3 years, and I've seen like all different types of races, different people. The black women that come to the country club, none of them, I've never seen locks, never, ever. So I want to say no, they don't like it.
So here we go. Bonquisha come up here. She says she on the front lines. I'm out here. I'm around the wealth. They don't like it, Mr. Walker.
It may be true. I mean, and look, at the end of the day, all right, the locks, the origination of locks, does it come from a history that the non-melanated folks are exactly too keen of? Hence the term dreadlocks, and that's a whole can of worms. But so that may be true. Maybe they don't like locks. Maybe they remind them of a time when things weren't going so well for them over in Haiti. Who knows? But like I said, a lot of context when it comes to the locks. And I tell you what, though, last show they said that people with locks, tattoos, and piercings come across as dirty and poor. So that's just a stigma. That may be a stigma out there. I got tattoos. I got locks. If y'all think I'm dirty and poor, I used to be.
So, yeah, it's unfortunate. Here we go.
Never. So I want to say no, they don't like it. Like if they do, they're not bringing it into places of that caliber. They're not bringing those type of people in those type of environments where, they have to be a certain type of profession. So my take is no.
Thank you, Megan. And you have, firsthand experience. So you're in it.
Yes. Yes, I'm in it. I see it every day. Like I'm about to go right now, like probably in like an hour. And I see that I've been seeing it every day for 3 years. Never. All three of those. Never. I've never seen a visible tattoo. And like I said, like the ladies, they come with dresses. Sometimes they come for different events. I've seen their chest. They've come in like I've never really even seen like a really short dress, but even if I did, I've never seen a leg, thigh tattoo. I've never seen an ankle tattoo, a foot tattoo. I've never seen it before.
What about a small, because some of the girls say, what about a small, teeny tiny piercing on the nose?
No, nothing. If they have it, they take it out before they get there. And
okay, what about a small baby tattoo on the neck?
No,
or on the
nothing.
collarbone?
I've never, nowhere. It doesn't matter what kind of tattoo. I've never seen it ever. It doesn't matter how small, how big, even if it's a scripture of sort. It doesn't matter if it's like a tattoo that has some type of meaning. It doesn't matter. I've never seen it ever.
Never seen it.
Huh. Yeah. So here we go. Sister Ashley should ask her, are you single? What's your status? Because you seem to have a lot of these answers. Do you got tattoos? I mean, what's going on?
Again, very, very subjective. Folks come up here. What's that sister name? Melly Monaco. Don't she got visible upper body tattoos? Am I tripping? No. But sister, she got piercings, stuff like that. Can you pull it off? That's the net of it, as Mr. X would say. Can you pull it off? Can you wear locks, piercings, and have tattoos and get your desired outcome? If you can, then you can. If you can't, then you can't. Plain and simple. Some guys gonna like it, some may not. Whether it be acceptable, unacceptable, you know what I mean? If you are still in a position where you got a total line, then total line. That part.
You heard it from Megan, and she works at the country club. Okay.
You have to be you have to be invited into the clubs. Like we have a long wait list. Like, we have people on the wait list that are wealthy and they still can't get in. Like, you have to be invited. So these are people that actually have established wealth,
She's so
whether it was
happy.
generational or whether it was, you know, of their own substance, like doctors, lawyers, CEOs built their own companies from the ground up. They didn't have any money coming in from, you know, their parents. So people, wealth of all sorts, all places.
Are you dating or attracting the men? Oh,
I try not to because I really like my job and it's more like family oriented, and I just kind of don't want to mix the two. I mean, I am dating a guy right now that, you know, is kind of not wealthy, but he has, you know, he's financially stable. Like, I don't really care about stuff like that. But in that environment, yeah, no, I don't really mix those two. Like, I have they flirt, you know, they do a little innocent flirting or whatever, but I don't engage, no. Because I like my job. I'm not, no.
all right, fair enough. Thank you, Megan, for coming up.
You're welcome. Bye, Ashley.
Bye.
Well, there you go. All right, it's mixed signals. Like Mr. Walker said, it's very subjective. You know, the one woman said she got dreads and she got a wealthy man. This woman said she never seen it. So
context and all the above. The one sister that had dreads and said that her husband was wealthy. She also stated, as the chat kept saying, she got with him when they were younger. Take all this context in, would you please? Is a guy that has got his portion of the king's gold and a woman meets him at the finish line, is he at that point looking for a sister with dreads? You know, and I don't know. Like I said, man, is can you pull it off? Some women they defy the odds. They're the outliers, but they're just that. They're outliers, and they are not to be considered when talking about the general rule. So are you an outlier? Are you willing to take that gamble?
So here we are. That's early part of the show. A quick PSA. We're gonna keep it moving.
I likes it. At the end of the day, I say take all this. What can we take from this? Do what you can get away with. If you want to be self-expressive, all right, you want to be edgy, can you get away with it? Can you still get your desired outcome as far as relationships, jobs, or careers? Then go ahead and do it. But if you can't, then don't.
That part. So here we go. Hit the like button if you're just coming in.